Steve. Turning now to politics, Senator Bernie Sanders emerging as a surprise threat to Hillary Clinton. He's drawing these huge crowds wherever he goes. He even leads Hillary Clinton in the latest polls out of New Hampshire. So, is this just a blip in the radar, or is Senator Sanders going to be a potential spoiler in the Democratic run for the White House? Joining us this morning, Eli Yokley, I want to call you a presidential contender yourself, political reporter with Roll Call. If you do make a presidential bid, would you tell us first?
I'll do it here. There's enough of them that I could probably join them and I'd be noticed pretty well.
Good morning to you. Thanks for being here.
Good to be here.
What is going on? Bernie Sanders is drawing these huge crowds, tens of thousands of people. Seems like wherever he goes.
It's surprising, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's the old white guy. You don't expect this guy to be the guy that's going to rile up the Democratic base.
You said it. Now, for the record, Eli said that, not me. Okay.
You don't expect this to be the guy who's going to rile up the Democratic base. But there's something about this deeply progressive, almost socialist from the Northeast that's attracting attention of young voters. And it's something that Hillary Clinton has not yet been able to tap into. Now, we've always got to be cautious of these early polls. This is sort of a blip in the radar in terms of the other polls, but there has been a trend. The race in New Hampshire has been tightening up, so Hillary Clinton's got some work to do. She might be getting ready to feel the burn up there.
How does he do outside of the Northeast, do you imagine?
That's his struggle. I mean, he's attracting big crowds in the Northwest and in some of these liberal centers, but the bottom line is you don't win the presidency based on the liberal centers of the country. And Hillary Clinton knows this, and that's why she's not going out as this, like, extremely progressive fighter. She's being smart and trying not to lose this race in the primary. I mean, Bernie Sanders has the same problem Donald Trump has. If Donald Trump were to have success here, in that he appeals very much to the base of the party, but he may not have an appeal beyond that.
He does well with young people too, surprisingly, right? Is it just that because he seems sort of radical and out of the box that people, I guess, younger are latching onto him?
I guess youngers are more liberal than some of their older peers. They're more progressive, and he speaks to some of these notions about income inequality. He's been talking about it for a long time in those issues. But he's got a problem with the African American vote in the Black Lives Matter.
Which is interesting. And you saw something that you don't often see from a politician in a rally. He said, "Look, if you don't want me here, I'm out of here." You know, and you don't really hear that from a politician. You hear them stay and try to sort of, make it, schmooze it, make it right. He was like, "I'll go." Interesting.
What's also fascinating about this is Bernie Sanders is a guy who back in the 60s was a civil rights fighter. And he was standing out there with these folks, and here we are.
That's what he said to this crowd.
50 years later, he's having a struggle with this, and I think it goes back to the bottom line, the old white guy problem. I mean, it's just a hard notion. It's a hard notion to sell to folks in Ferguson.
But Eli, look at him. He's got his sleeves rolled up. He's got no tie on. He looks like your uncle who was, telling you about how life was going to be when you got older after college. How could this guy not appeal to this population? Now we're just talking about, progressive populations as far as the minority community.
He might be appealing to them. I mean, the polls are moving, and Hillary Clinton's got a problem here that I don't think she expected to have this close. We're 6 months away from New Hampshire. Could
it just be the anti-Hillary, group, anybody but Hillary as far as the Democrats go? Could we be seeing that?
We could be. What we could also be seeing is we're 6 months out, and it's early. And folks, a lot of times, don't make their decisions until up to primary day or caucus day. So we've got a long time to go for Hillary Clinton in both these campaigns. 64 days until the first Democratic debate.
What's his personality like? What's his personality like? We've seen him in the rallies. He's sort of like folksy. Is he that guy?
He's kind of quirky. I mean, if you go to the Capitol, you see the guy walking around by himself, kind of huddled down. I mean, he's got his kind of an odd persona. He's not like the most charismatic guy in the world. He's sort of a loner within the Democratic caucus. In fact, he's an independent. He identifies as an independent from Vermont. He doesn't identify with the Democratic caucus, and that might be also part of the problem. He doesn't have the party support here that Hillary Clinton's been building for the last 4 decades now.
Could be a spoiler though for her.
He could be a spoiler, maybe. We'll see.
Okay. Eli,
6 months.
Political reporter with Roll Call. If that's a short period of time, Eli, it's going to be here like that. Thank you so much for joining us.